Morning guys. In the last class we have seen what is the meaning of leakage reactance in the transformer and why leakage reactance will exist in the transformer. Okay. Today we will be deriving the expression for the leakage reactance for a core type transformer. So leakage reactance for core type transformer. Core type transformer. So before we go for getting the expression for leakage reactance, we need to do certain assumptions. Okay. So with those assumptions, we will be going towards finding the expression for leakage reactance. Okay. So assumptions. First assumption is the primary and secondary windings are having equal axial length. Okay. Primary and secondary are having equal axial length. Okay. In the sense, the height of the winding is equal. Okay. The height of the, why it is called axial length? Because the winding is cylindrical in structure. So therefore, both primary and secondary windings are having equal axial length. It means the height of the primary winding and secondary winding are same. Okay. Second point, second assumption, the flux path are parallel to the winding along the axial path or along the axial length. Flux path are parallel to winding along axial length. Flux path are parallel to winding along axial length. Third point, the permeance of leakage flux path external to the axial length is very large. The permeance of leakage flux path external to the axial length axial length is noted as LC. Okay, external to the axial length LC is very large. Very large. That is, reluctance is low. If permeance is large, means reluctance is low. Okay. That is, reluctance is low and there is no MMF drop. Okay. We'll tell. We'll see once we draw the diagram what these all points mean. Okay. So fourth point or fourth assumption is primary and secondary MMF are equal. Okay. By neglecting magnetizing MMF. Okay. So neglect magnetizing MMF. Primary and secondary MMF are equal. Primary and secondary MMFs are equal. Next, fifth point. Half of the leakage flux in the duct links with each winding. Half of leakage flux in the duct links with each winding. It links with each winding. Okay, we know that leakage flux is linking to core It is linking with primary winding, it is linking with the duct. So whatever the leakage flux that is present in the duct, is that leakage flux is linking half to primary winding and half to secondary winding. Sixth, the length of mean turn of windings are equal. The length of mean turn of windings are equal. Okay. So these are the assumptions that we generally make, okay, in finding the leakage reactance expression in the transformer. Okay. Now we will see how the how the leakage flux in the transformer is distributed, okay, and how that can be taken into account. Okay. I need more space here, so just rub the other things which are not necessary. Okay. So let this be the core of transformer. Okay. We are considering, or first we will draw, later that we will see. So this is the core of transformer. I have primary winding. This is primary winding, okay, and I have the secondary winding. The air duct I have drawn purposely a little bit bigger, okay, because we have to understand what is happening there. Right? So actually this part what we are seeing is this is my transformer. Okay, and we are placing primary winding here, sorry, one winding, one cylindrical structure here. Okay, so whatever I have drawn is this part. Okay, it is this part of the transformer what I have drawn here. Okay, so this is the core, this is primary winding, this is secondary winding. Layer of primary, we have layer of primary here and layer of secondary. Okay, now the leakage flux, okay, we can divide the total leakage flux of the transformer into the leakage flux linking to primary, the leakage flux present in the duct, and the leakage flux linking to secondary. Okay, so whole leakage flux is divided into primary flux phi 1, duct flux phi 0, and secondary flux phi 2. Okay. Primary flux, secondary flux and duct flux. Okay. So this is the yoke. This is the yoke part. So the first assumption is primary and secondary are having equal axial length. So this is the axial length. This is the axial length LC. So the height of the winding is same. Primary and secondary are having equal height. Okay. Second, the flux path are parallel to the winding along the axial length. Okay. So this we will consider the flux path. Okay. So this is phi 2, this is phi 0, and this is phi 1. Okay. I have drawn only one line because I need some more space for some construction. Okay. So there can be flux lines continuously flowing. Okay. Actually, magnetic flux is not the line; it is a plane. Okay. Now, the permeance of leakage flux path external to the axial length is very large. It means that above this winding and below this winding, the reluctance is zero. Okay, permeance is very high. Therefore, there is no drop of leakage MMF across these 2 points. Okay, to produce leakage flux, there will be leakage MMF. So there is no drop of leakage MMF above and below the axial length. That is external to the axial length, permeance is very high. Therefore, the leakage flux drop is not there above and below this. So all the leakage flux is existing in between the axial length only. MMF is not there; it has not dropped above this LC and below this LC. That is the meaning of third point. Fourth point: primary and secondary MMF are equal. I1 T1 is equals to I2 T2 by neglecting I0 T0. I0 T1, that is magnetizing MMF. Okay. Next, half of the leakage flux in the duct links with each winding. So phi naught is the total flux in the duct. Okay, phi naught is the total flux in the leakage flux in the duct. Phi naught by 2 will link to primary winding. Phi naught by 2 will link to secondary winding. Let us take this as primary. Let us take this as secondary. Okay. So half of the total flux in the duct link to primary and remaining half link to secondary. The length of mean turn of windings are equal. That is LMT1 equals to LMT2. Okay. Now, let LC. Okay. LC is axial length of coil. Axial length of coils. Then, see, when I place so many number of turns surrounding the core, depending upon the number of turns, the winding will gain certain thickness. Okay, so this is the thickness of primary winding, this is the thickness of secondary winding. That is, this is the width of primary winding in the window, this is the width of secondary winding in the window. Okay, because I am considering the leakage flux that is present in the window. Okay, so let us take the width of primary winding to be B1 width of duct to be A, and width of secondary winding to be B2. Okay, so B1 radial width of primary winding, B2 radial width of secondary winding, and A, okay, width of duct. Radial width of duct. Okay, so radial width because it is a cylindrical in structure. See, it is a cylinder, so this will form the radius of the cylinder. So that is the radial width. So radial width of primary is B1, radial width of secondary is B2, and radial width of duct is A. Okay. Then coming to, let us consider a elemental strip, okay, at distance x from the core in the primary winding. Okay, let us consider an elemental strip let us consider an elemental strip at distance x, okay, from the core in primary, and this elemental strip is having a width dx. Okay, that elemental strip, let us say, is having the width dx. So you take let us consider an elemental strip of width dx in primary winding at a distance x from the core, at distance x from the core. Okay, so I have considered an elemental strip of width dx in primary winding, that is in width B1 primary winding, with thickness or with width dx at a distance x from the core. So this is core, you can say this is core, at a distance x from the core I have considered an elemental strip. So if we study what is the leakage flux linking to that strip and integrate it over the width, I get the total leakage flux linking to the primary winding. Okay, so that is what we are doing it. Okay, so what are the number of turns at the strip? See, number of turns in primary, are T1. So this total width are having T1 number of turns. Total width is having T1 number of turns. Now what will be the number of turns till distance dx at distance x across the strip dx, what is the number of turns I will be getting? Okay, total number of turns, okay, multiplied by the amount of width at a distance x. Okay, so I will write, you will get to know. Therefore, number of turns in primary at distance x, okay, is equals to T1 are the total number of turns, okay, but the distance of primary winding or the width of primary winding is only x now, it is not B1, so it is a portion of B1, therefore I will write into x divided by B. If I consider this strip at the start of the winding itself, number of turns will be 0. If I keep this strip at the edge of the primary winding, number of turns will be x equal to B1 divided by B1, that is T1. So this will give the portion of distance that I consider, or the portion of width of primary winding that I consider where I have kept the strip, okay, the elemental strip. So now MMF acting across the strip, therefore MMF acting across the strip. Okay. Now, what is the current drawn by each winding or each turn? It is I1. The current drawn by each conductor will not change, whether the conductor is residing near to core or whether the conductor is at the edge of the winding. So each conductor, each turn is carrying the same amount of current, that is I1. So MMF acting across the strip is equals to I1 into, if I take I1 into T1, this will be the total MMF of primary. But to get a total MMF of primary, I should get a total number of turns of primary. But total number of turns of primary are there at the distance B1 from core. But the strip is at distance x. Therefore, number of turns I should consider at distance x. Okay. MMF acting across the strip is equals to I1 into T1 x upon B1. Because number of turns are to be considered at this strip, elemental strip, and elemental strip is existing at a distance x from the core. Therefore, I should consider the number of turns at a distance x from the core. That will be T1 into x upon B1. The reluctance in this portion, okay? The reluctance in this portion will be, or you can take reluctance in strip portion, reluctance in strip portion is equals to, what is common general equation for reluctance? General equation of reluctance is same as that of dimensional equation of resistance. Okay, I will just rub this. So we have R is equals to rho L by A. This is resistivity. If I want to consider conductivity, R is equals to 1 upon delta divided by A. That is resistance. Then similarly reluctance is given by, R is equals to, it is 1 over conductivity. In reluctance or in magnetic circuit it will be 1 over permeability into L divided by A. Length of the electromagnet or length of the magnet divided by area of cross section of the electromagnet. Okay. So with that equation of reluctance, I can write reluctance in the strip portion is 1 over mu. Reluctance in strip portion is 1 over mu. Okay. L by A. Okay. L is, what is the length of the strip? Length of the strip is, okay, length of the strip is nothing but length of the coil, that is axial length of the coil LC. Length of the strip is axial length of the coil LC. So this will be LC divided by area of strip. Okay. LC divided by area of strip. Now what is the area of strip? It is not LC into dx. That is not the area of strip. Okay. LC into dx is not the area of strip. What is, see, this strip I have considered at a cross section along the length. Okay. But this strip is existing throughout the cylindrical structure of the winding. Okay. Now I have this core. Okay. And suppose I have this primary winding. Okay. Purposely I have drawn bigger. And what is B1? So this is the elemental strip I have considered at a distance x with width dx. At a distance x from the core, okay, at a distance x from the core, I have considered the elemental strip and this width is dx. Okay. So this elemental strip is along the length and also along the circle in the complete cylinder. So I have considered all the number of turns, those will be present in this elemental strip throughout the length of the coil. Okay. So this elemental strip is not present only here, what we are seeing on the front surface. Because I have taken the section of the front surface and I am presenting it. But when you actually see the winding is cylindrical in structure, and this elemental strip, that what I have considered is also cylindrical. The elemental strip is also a cylinder. It is not a straight line which will cover the axial length. It is a cylinder, and I have cut that cylinder. Okay, this is elemental strip. And this is what I have taken to show you in the circuit. Okay. This is all elemental strip only. This is all elemental strip along the length. Okay, along the length it is elemental strip. Fine. So what is the area of strip? Purposely I have written this area of strip, because you should understand, or else in the equation it is directly given in the derivation. So that is equals to 1 over mu, okay, 1 over mu LC upon what is now area of this strip. Okay, now area of this strip is nothing but width into length. Width of strip into length of strip. Width of strip into length of strip. Now what is width of strip? It is dx. But what is length of strip? Now I hope you understood. I will erase it. Now width of strip is dx. Length of strip is assumed to be length of mean turn. Length of strip is assumed to be length of mean turn. Length of strip is assumed to be length of mean turn. So what will be the reluctance equation now? Reluctance equation will be, therefore reluctance in strip portion is equals to, I will write 1 over mu LC upon width of strip is dx, length of strip is length of mean turn. Okay, length of mean turn. Fine. Now, how the flux is given? Flux is always the ratio of mmf to reluctance. Current is voltage by resistance. Therefore, flux is mmf by reluctance. Okay. The leakage flux across the strip, the leakage flux in the strip, let d phi 1 is leakage flux, let d phi 1 is leakage flux in the strip, let d phi 1 is leakage flux in the strip, okay, and is given by d phi 1 is equals to, it is mmf divided by reluctance. mmf at strip divided by reluctance at strip. So what is mmf at strip? D phi 1 is equals to, mmf is I1 into T1 x upon B1. mmf at strip is I1 T1 into x upon B1 divided by reluctance is 1 over mu, okay, 1 over mu LC divided by dx into LMT. LC over 1 over mu LC dx into LMT. Okay, now by rearranging the terms, I will write d phi 1 is equals to, okay, I1 T1 into I1 T1 into x upon B1 into mu LMT dx over or Now this is the flux, leakage flux that is there in the strip. Now this leakage flux is linking to all the number of turns at the strip. Is it? Because this is the flux phi 1. It is, if you want I will draw it near to, or sorry. Okay. So here I have flux d phi 1. D phi 1. Okay. Whether it is visible. This flux d phi 1 is linking to all the number of turns at the strip. And what are the number of turns at the strip? T1 x upon B1. Okay. So next, this flux d phi 1, this leakage flux. Please remember, we are dealing with leakage flux, not main flux. This leakage flux d phi 1 is linking with all the turns at the strip. That is T1 x upon B1 number of turns. That is T1 x upon B1 number of turns. Therefore, flux linkage is given by, therefore, flux linkage is, or flux linkage at strip is given by or you can take flux linkage d psi 1. Okay, you can say psi or chi, it depends. Flux linkage d psi 1 at strip is given by, okay, so d psi 1 is equals to, see, flux linkage is always given by flux multiplied by number of turns to which it is linking. Okay, it is flux at strip multiplied by number of turns at strip. Flux at strip multiplied by number of turns at strip. So d phi 1 is equals to, it is d phi 1 into T1 x upon B1. Okay, T1 x upon B1. So I can write this as, or this is equals to, what is d phi 1? It is I1 T1, okay, into x upon B1 into mu LMT dx upon LC into T1 x upon B1 into T1 x upon B1. So I can write d psi 1 is equals to d psi 1 is equals to, I can write I1 into T1 square, T1, you will get I1 into T1 square into mu LMT upon LC into x square upon B1 square into dx. Okay, x by B1, x by B1. It will be x square upon B1 square into dx. Now this is the flux linkage, the leakage flux that is linking to the number of turns at the strip dx at a distance x. Now this distance x can be anything and dx can be any width. If I want the entire flux linkage to the complete primary winding due to leakage flux, I will get it by integrating this equation d psi 1 with respect to the distance at a span of, or taking the span equal to the width of primary winding. The span is width of primary winding, variable is x with respect to the dx. Okay, so you can take thus the total flux linkage of primary winding, thus total flux linkage of primary winding, total flux linkage of primary winding due to leakage flux is psi 1 is equals to integration of d psi 1, okay, integration of d psi 1, integration of d psi 1 over the width 0 to b1, because the maximum width is b1. Primary winding will not go beyond b1. Now this is equals to integration 0 to b1, d psi 1 is I1 T1 square mu LMT upon LC into x square by b1 square into dx. Okay, to dx. So therefore psi 1 is given by, or I can rearrange the terms, psi 1 is equals to I1 T1 square mu LMT upon LC into b1 square integration 0 to b1 x square dx, x square dx. So integration of x square dx is x cube by 3. Okay, so this is equals to psi 1 is equals to I1 T1 square mu LMT divided by LC into b1 square into x square is, it is x cube by 3 with the limit 0 to b1, and this will be equals to I1 T1 square mu LMT upon LC into b1 square into, substitute the limits, it will be b1 cube by 3 minus 0, so it will be b1 cube by 3. So this square and 1 will go, only one b1 will remain, therefore psi 1 is equals to, okay, therefore psi 1 is equals to, can write I'll take constants earlier, mu LMT I1 T1 square into B1 divided by 3 into x divided by 3 into x. Okay. So this is the, or this should take it as equation 1. Equation 1 gives flux linkage in primary winding due to leakage flux. Due to leakage flux in primary phi 1. Okay, due to leakage flux in primary phi 1. Now we have assumed that the flux present in the duct portion is also linking to primary and secondary. That is, half of the flux in the duct portion is linking to primary. So phi naught by 2 is linking to primary. Now I should be looking into what is the flux linkage due to the flux in the duct to primary winding. Okay. So next to take in duct portion. What we have seen is in primary winding portion. So next we will see in the duct portion. Time being, I will keep this equation as it is. I will write it here. Psi 1 is equals to mu LMT into I1 T1 square divided by 3 LC into or B1 or divided by LC into B1 upon 3. This I will take. This you take it as equation 1. This is equation 1. Okay. Now, MMF acting across the duct or in duct portion MMF acting across the duct acting across the duct is equals to I1 into T1, because the duct is present after the complete primary winding and also after the complete secondary winding. So MMF acting across the duct is either it is I1 T1 or I2 T2. Okay. So because I am dealing with primary coil, I will take it as I1 T1. So the total turns at the duct are number of turns in primary, that is T1, and each turn is carrying a current I1. So therefore total MMF present in the duct is the total MMF that is generated by the primary winding, that is I1 T1. Okay. So reluctance in the duct is equals to 1 over mu. Length of duct is axial length of the coil. Same. This is the duct from here to here. This is the axial length of the coil, LC, divided by area of duct. Okay. Now what is area of duct? Area of duct is width of duct and the circumferential length of duct. Width of duct multiplied by circumferential length of duct. Circumferential length of duct. Now what do you mean by that? I have here the coil. So this is primary. I am having this width B1 and I have a duct here. Upon that I have secondary B2. Then what is this? A. Width of duct is A, and this width of this duct is present throughout the circumference of the cylinder after the primary winding. After the width B1, the duct is present in the complete circumference of the cylinder. So therefore, the area of duct is width of duct multiplied by circumferential length of duct. That is area of duct, not the surface area what you are looking along the length. Okay. So this is given by width of duct is A, already we have taken, into L0. Okay. Like LMT is the mean length of the turn. Okay. Length of mean turn. This is LMT. This is LMT. Okay. L0 is the circumferential length of the duct. L0 is circumferential length of duct. Okay. Therefore, reluctance in duct is equals to 1 over mu into LC upon A into L0. LC upon A into L0. Okay. Therefore, leakage flux in duct leakage flux in duct phi naught is equals to MMF in duct divided by reluctance in duct. MMF in duct divided by reluctance in duct, and that is equals to MMF in duct is I1T1 divided by reluctance in duct is 1 over mu LC upon A into L0, or phi naught is equals to I can write I1T1 into mu A into L0 upon LC. Okay. So, but we have assumed that out of total flux in the duct, half of that is linking to primary, half of that is linking to secondary. Okay. Today, it is assumed that half of duct flux is linking to both the winding. Okay, that is phi naught by 2 is linking to primary, and phi naught by 2 is linking to secondary. Okay. Next today, flux linkage. Therefore, flux linkage in primary due to leakage flux in duct is psi naught is equals to phi naught into T1, because at the duct not phi naught, psi naught into phi naught by 2 into T1. Half of the flux phi naught is linking to the primary, and at the duct the number of turns of primary are T1. Duct is after the complete width of the primary winding. Therefore, at the duct the number of turns are T1. Therefore, phi naught by 2 into T1. Okay, therefore psi naught is equals to, or this is equals to, I can write what is phi naught? It is I1 T1 mu A L naught by LC into T1. Okay, or I can write psi naught is equal to this is divided by 2, sorry, 1 by 2. This I can write mu into I1 or mu L naught I1 T1 square divided by LC into A by 2. Okay, divided by LC into A by 2. Taking L naught is equals to, or assume L naught is equals to LMT. Assume L naught is equals to LMT. Therefore, psi naught is equals to mu LMT I1 T1 square upon LC into A by 2. Upon LC into A by 2. Now, let this be equation 2. Let this be equation 2. Now, the total leakage flux linking to primary winding is, now total leakage flux linking to primary winding is flux linking to primary winding due to leakage flux phi 1 and flux linking to primary winding due to the leakage flux in the duct phi naught by 2. That is psi naught. Therefore, total flux linkage in primary winding is psi is equals to psi 1 plus psi naught. Psi is equals to psi 1 plus psi naught. Okay, that is flux in primary winding and leakage flux. Okay, this all fluxes what I am talking are leakage flux. Leakage flux in primary winding and leakage flux in duct. Okay. Therefore, from equation 192, psi is equals to, it is mu LMT I1 T1 square upon LC into D1 by 3 plus mu LMT I1 T1 square upon LC into A by 2. Okay. LC into A by 2. Okay. So this I can write psi is equals to. So in this expression, mu LMT I1 T1 square by LC is common. So I can take those that as common. Therefore, psi is equals to mu LMT I1 T1 square upon LC. I will take it out into B1 by 3 plus A by 2. B1 by 3 plus A by 2. So take this as equation 3. Okay, this is equation 3. So therefore, how do I give inductance? Okay. the leakage inductance in primary winding is, therefore, if I want to know the leakage reactance, I should be knowing leakage inductance first. Leakage inductance in primary winding is L1 is equals to, okay, flux linkage due to leakage flux divided by primary current. Why so this ratio is? We should go back to the basics. Okay, so we know that in any coil, we will take the help of coil only. In any coil or in any magnetic path, suppose there is a flux produced. This flux is proportional to the current I, which is carried by the coil. This flux is proportional to the current that is carried by the coil. Okay, so flux is always proportional to current, but not all the coils those carry current will create flux. The coil must have inductance in them. If the coil is non-inductive, then that coil will not create flux. Example is rheostatic wire. Though rheostatic wire is bound in the form of a coil, it won't create flux because the inductance of rheostatic wire is made 0. Okay, so therefore my flux is equals to inductance into current. If inductance is of the coil is 0, flux produced is 0, even though the coil carries current. Okay, so this is flux. Then flux linkage is given by phi into T, number of turns. Okay, or I can write phi into T is equals to L into I. Therefore, L is equals to psi divided by I. You can take flux or you can take flux linkage. Both are same. Okay, the flux that is present in the space is linking to so many number of turns will give us linkage. Okay, so inductance, you please note this small note. Okay, the flux linkage due to leakage flux divided by primary current. So I can write L1 is equals to, therefore L1 is equals to, it is psi divided by I1, and psi is nothing but mu LMT I1 T1 square upon LC into B1 by 3 plus A by 2, okay, into 1 upon I1. I1 will get cancelled. Okay, so we get L1 is equals to mu LMT T1 square upon LC into B1 by 3 plus A by 2. Okay. Now I know the inductance, I can get the leakage reactance very easily. Therefore, leakage reactance X1 is given by, therefore, primary leakage reactance X1 therefore, primary leakage reactance X1 is equals to 2 pi f L1. Now simply multiplied by 2 pi f, therefore X1 is equals to X1 is equals to 2 pi f mu LMT T1 square upon LC into B1 by 3 plus A by 2. We take this as equation 4. Okay, so this equation 4 gives the primary leakage reactance. Okay, equation 4 gives the primary leakage reactance. Similarly, secondary leakage reactance. Secondary leakage reactance is number of turns in secondary are T2, width of secondary winding is B2, width of duct is same. So that is given by, therefore X2 is equals to 2 pi f mu LMT into T2 square upon LC into B2 by 3 plus A by 2. So this is secondary leakage reactance. Okay. Now the total leakage reactance we will see in the next class. Okay. So thank you for joining the class.